Hi guys, I hope you're having a great weekend. For this week's video, I decided to do a Q&A plus plan with me. I asked everyone for questions under the YouTube community tab and I got quite a bit, so I'm going to get through as many as possible in decreasing order of likes. And I will also put timestamps down below so that if there's a specific question you're interested in, then you can just skip to that. Number 1, how do you find the time to do all that you do in a day and tips for time management? And I actually got a lot of similar questions regarding my productivity, so I'm just going to kind of answer all of them here. And thank you for all of the compliments. It really made me happy reading through them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I lead a very unhealthy lifestyle and I'm trying to be really better about it recently. I just look and feel 10 years older than I should be, and I don't like that. I think it just seems like I get a lot done because I work longer hours and I sacrifice sleep and honestly a social life just because I really like working on the things I'm passionate about. But with that being said, what I really swear by is prioritizing. So for example, during the semester in a given week, if I have a lot of university deliverables, then I only do the bare minimum for my business and vice versa. I think the worst weeks are when I have both a big business thing and a big school thing. So for example, like when I have midterm exams and an anniversary sale during the same week, that is when I turn into a zombie and don't sleep, and all prioritizing and time management and all of that goes out the window. But yeah, under normal circumstances, I swear by prioritizing and I don't work on everything with full force every single day. Another little thing that I do is before breakfast every day, I try to get through all of the things that can be done in under 10 minutes so that it doesn't like break up my workflow throughout the day. So for example, if on my to-do list I really need to reply to a client, or if I want to clean the bathroom really quickly, then I'll just do that before breakfast, and then it puts me in a great mood to get the rest of my bigger projects done. The second question is, what is the best and worst stationery purchase I've made? This is a really fun one. I think the best would be my Hobonichi Cousin planner. It has quickly become my lifeline every hour of every day. And the worst would probably be Posca pens. I don't know if I'm using them incorrectly, but I wanted to do some fun blackout spreads with a white pen, and it's really sheer and I have to build up the opacity. So yeah, I might have to give that a try again soon because many people seem to like them. Number 3, do you have any tips for anyone wanting to start a sticker shop? Firstly, I think it's awesome that you're thinking of starting your own venture. I would say to think about what is a differentiating factor for the business that you're wanting to open and what you are competing with other businesses on. So for example, are you wanting to compete on price where you are known for offering affordable things? Or are you wanting to compete on quality where you use the absolute best papers, inks, and everything but charging a premium? Or are your designs really unique, etc.? And I guess something more specific to planner stickers, if you're stuck on what sorts of designs to sell, consider what you personally would use in your planner and make that into a sticker, because chances are other similar people will need that sticker for their planners as well. Number 4, what part of work do I despise the most and what is my favorite part? I think I despise shipping. Like last week, I had a package returned and it was a package I sent in the middle of last year, so like almost a year ago. And it's just the most bizarre and annoying thing. And my favorite part would be when I get to launch a new product or I just get to reveal a project or something. I get super excited and I feel really validated when I see all of your excitement as well on social media, and it's just this adrenaline rush that I get from nothing else. Number 5, what are the pros and cons to switching planners and how do I decide on which planners to use? So I think it's really well known that I use several planners and bullet journals at once. The pros would be that every week is something really exciting and I basically never get bored of planning or go through planning ruts because I don't force myself to stick to one thing. And the con would be that I don't fully keep up with all of my planners, so at the end of the year, not every single page is filled. And I decide on the planner I use based on just what's happening that week. So if it's a busy school week with a lot of mini assignments, I would pick a planner that lets me make to-do lists. If it's a week where I have to run around everywhere, I pick an hourly planner, etc. Number 6, how did you come up with your Emoti character? Emotis were little characters I just doodled when I was in classes that bored me, honestly, back in high school. They kind of just represented my emotions and my disposition, so I shortened that to the name Emotis. Number 7, if you could only use one planner, which would you use? And at the moment, it would definitely be my Hobonichi Cousin, since it has the monthly, weekly, and daily section all together. Number 8, how do I manage while having anxiety a lot? And what design program do I use? Is it Procreate? So regarding anxiety, I have 2 main types. One is social anxiety. Just in certain social settings, I panic and I can't really function properly. That doesn't really happen anymore. Maybe because of COVID, I haven't been in an overwhelming social setting, but I'm just always aware and ready to retreat if needed. The second is I think about catastrophic things in the future a lot, to the point where I panic in the current. And honestly, I just cope with it by working and trying to learn new things, which probably isn't the best way. So I'm definitely not qualified to give advice, especially since I'm sure everyone has anxiety in different things or different areas, but those are just the 2 that I experience. And for designing, I use a lot of different programs. So I use a mix of Photoshop, Say, Krita, and Illustrator, just depending on what I need it for. Like, I always just save a file in one program and open it in another because I like a certain function of a certain program. And I don't use Procreate because I believe that is like for iPads or something, and I don't have an iPad. I work on my computer. Okay, I took a little break and I'm going to try to answer questions a bit quicker. Number 9, what field is your internship in? And before I had a shop, what was my dream job? So my internship currently is in the growth marketing field. I basically do marketing experiments and research for the company I work for. They're mostly B2B, whereas I am B2C, so it's really fun to do something different. And before starting my business, I was 15, so I guess I was interested in pursuing engineering. And in fact, after I finish my current degree, I eventually want to go back to school for something STEM related, just because I really miss taking math and science courses. Number 10, how do I avoid burnout and fight through being unmotivated? Firstly, I'm so sorry that you're going through that, because ruts are seriously the worst for creative fields. Sometimes I have the luxury of putting things off and working on something else, but other times I have deadlines and I need to push through. I think it really depends on what sort of thing you're designing, but if it's, for example, a weekly kit collection, I start with a color palette and build from there, or I take inspiration from the seasons or cities or foods that I like, patterns in clothing, etc. But yeah, I think we all just get better at working through ruts as we gain experience rather than avoiding them. Number 11, tips for relaxing when I feel like I constantly have to be productive, and what are my favorite ways to relax? So my favorite way is to either read or paint landscapes. I also struggle with feeling guilty for not being productive, so if you have any tips for that, let me know as well. But something I personally find helpful is letting myself relax after I take a shower at night. I really hate morning showers, by the way. But anyways, I find that having a shower forces me to relax, so it's natural for me to transition into reading a book or painting. Number 12, if I could spend an afternoon with anyone living or passed on, who would it be, and what do you imagine you would do? I have way too many role models in art, science, literature, etc. The first person that pops into my head is Princess Diana. I was born, I believe, 3 years or something after she passed away, but I grew up just marveling at her photos and stories, and I would just love to meet her and get to know her very simply over a cup of coffee or something. Number 13, do I plan on getting a pet for my apartment or in the future? Yes, so after I'm done with school, I will likely be adopting a dog. It has always been my dream to have a dog companion, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Number 14, how many late nights or all-nighters a week do I have to pull to complete my goals? So again, sleep deprivation shouldn't be glamorized. So I just want to say I am trying these few weeks or months to get more sleep. But normally I sleep at around 2 in the morning and wake up at 7 if I have my internship, or 8 on other days. I don't pull all-nighters during the summer, but if it's a school semester, I probably only do 2 or 3, which I don't think is too bad. All-nighters are absolutely terrible for your health. So my goal for my 4th year and final year of university is to not pull any all-nighters. Number 15, once travel is possible, where would you like to go and with whom? I actually haven't traveled to many places before, but if I get a free vacation, I would love to visit any Spanish-speaking country like, well, Spain, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, and the list goes on. Just because I want to firstly see how my Spanish is, but also learn from locals. And with whom, honestly, I think I would prefer to solo travel. Number 16, what are your favorite emotis to draw? I really like drawing emotis with food and drinks because I think they are just hilarious. Number 17, how did I start the Coffee Monsters Co? So very briefly, I was 15. I first put together an ebook of my doodles, sold that ebook, and used the funds from that ebook to buy all of my supplies, started my Etsy shop, then opened my own website. I do have a longer About Me page on my website if you're interested in a more elaborated version of that. Number 18, do I think of myself as a successful shop owner, and what is a secret? I recognize that I have areas where I'm successful, but I also fall short in some other areas that other businesses excel at. And for the second part, I think that luck is a huge part of it all. I personally know that I work hard, and I can also vouch for my products, and I love the items that we have in the shop, but I was also very, very, very lucky because there are many other people out there who are more talented and more hardworking. So yeah, luck is just something to always keep in mind. Number 19, favorite thing that I've created and favorite class in college. So my favorite thing that I've created probably are my washi tapes because they are just so fun to use and also design. And my favorite class in college so far would be either game theory or linear algebra. Number 20, what are my best tips for university to balance everything? So this is going to be my last question I answer today. For the balancing part, I kind of answered it in the first question, which is to prioritize. But another tip I have specific to university, if you're going into your first year, is to expect a lot of trial and error in how you take notes, study, review, and take tests, because it's very different from high school. My note-taking methods from high school did not work for me in university, and I had to figure out what was efficient but also help me understand the material. So speaking of trying to be better at sleeping earlier, it is currently 3 in the morning and I am completely wiped out. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully it was entertaining. And if you have any other questions, leave them below and I pledge to answer every single one, as long as it's like commented recently. I will see you guys next week, hopefully for a new video. Bye!